today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I love watches. I love my watches. I have a few watches, and about a year ago I bought the Casio Master G Rangeman, the GPR1000, which is this little puppy. Now, I just want to say, can you see that? Dedication to duty. That's how cold it is out here. We're at about -3, I think, at the moment. I've got my little heater on, but it's not actually doing much at the moment. So anyway, I'm out here. I've got my thermals on underneath here, and I'm out here doing the do, and yeah, having a bit of fun. So here we are. So this is the GPR 1000. It's a big watch. Can't say it's not. It's actually probably one of the biggest watches you can possibly find out there. But a year on, I absolutely love this watch. I wear it pretty much every day, and you sort of forget about the size after a while. When you first put it on, you think, "Whoa, that's big." And a few people have commented that, "Hey, that's a big watch." But yeah, it is a big watch. But the technology that's been packed into that case is just phenomenal, you know. So I understand it being big, but I actually quite like a big watch, so I'm quite happy about that. So here we are. So this is the watch in question, and if I put it on my wrist, you can just see just how big this thing is. There you go. I've got quite big hands, but as you can see, this thing is quite massive. But it sits quite nice, it's comfortable. I don't actually, you know, I never think, oof, it's uncomfortable or anything like that. It's not, it's very comfortable. It's the strap is very comfortable. It's a carbon strap, and it's really flexible and it's soft. So yeah, you sort of, once you get used to the size, you just forget it and you just wear the watch, yeah. And so if we go over a few bits and pieces about the watch, and what I've found is 60 odd millimeters across. It is exactly 60 millimeters. They say it's 60, it is 60. It's pretty thick. It's about 20 millimeters thick, and it weighs 142 grams. So it's not a light watch, but again, you know, you do get used to the weight and you do get used to the size. So a few things. Carbon fibre strap, it's really flexible, and I don't think there's any chance of you ever breaking this strap. It doesn't seem to, in a year, there's no, and I wear it in all weathers, out in the workshop, no problem at all. It doesn't crack, there's no cracks in the strap, so I would say that is a proper good quality strap, no problem at all there. It's very robust, you can bang it around, you can really drop it, no problems at all. This thing is proper robust. It's a sapphire glass screen, so anti-scratch, and in a year, even though I wear it in the garden all the time, as you can see, I think you can see that on the picture, the screen is still immaculate. So that's all. Let's see if I can get that a bit closer for you. There we go, look. So the screen is still absolutely perfect. None of the writing has faded or come off. Some of it's impressed, some isn't, but none of it's come off. All the little digits are still there, even on the strap, all still good, as you can see. So the build quality, I think, is superb good build quality. It's got a ceramic back, which is really nicely engraved, and again, if I can get that in the light, there we go. You can see it's got the Master G symbol on the back, and it's got all the information written engraved into the ceramic. And it's not, strangely, even though it's a hard back, it's not cold. Like some watches, when you put on a watch, the metal back is cold. It's not. This is ceramic and it's not cold. So again, I think that's a real nice touch. And also the spiel for the ceramic back is that it's more accurate with the temperature and blah 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 blah. But anyway, it's comfy. So that's about the build of the watch. Now the usability of the watch it's different to any other watch I've ever had. Whereas you use the buttons, they're more like they look more like using a mouse, really. So if you press on any of the display buttons, you can see it brings up a sub display. So if you press on any of the buttons, you can see it brings up this sub display. And then how you access that is just by flicking on the main button of the watch, and it will just rotate through the items, and when you're on the one you want, you can just press on the button and it will bring up the display. So well, that one for instance was the beep. Do I want the beep or not? I leave it on. And then to go back, as you can see, it's all very simple. It tells you on the screen, back. And then if you go back again, you're back to the main display. So if I press on another one, it brings up a whole new menu. And this one has got the connect to the phone, compass, altimeter, barometer, and the time. And then again, you just flick through these. It's got world time. It goes on and on. So if I go on to the stopwatch, for instance, press on the button. There we go. We've got a stopwatch, and it's really simple to use and back. You know, I could go through all the things that it does, but that's not really what it's about. It's about the usability of the watch and how I use the watch. It's got a backlight, obviously, and you can set that to, I think it's 1.5 or 3 seconds. I have it set on 1.5. The display, one thing I really like is the digits are very big. They're about 7mm, the main digit. So in the middle of the night, if you want to see the time, it's very simple. The light, and it's all there, and you've got the date and the day. Now this display is interchangeable. You can change this by using the app on the phone, which I find works really nicely. You can just connect to the phone, and then you can change all the display settings. You can change all your settings. You can access the GPS data. So if you're trekking, you can. There's lots of stuff you can do from the app, and it's very simple. Nothing hard about the app. So you just go onto the app, and it will tell you on there to connect. Please push this button on the watch and hold it for 2.5 seconds. So if I hold the button it's telling me to for 2.5 seconds, there you see the G-Shock sign comes up, and then you see on the phone, when the phone's on the phone, it's now connecting to the watch. It takes a few seconds. The watch is connected. I'm connected in the app, and then it will take me to my watch. So on there is now all the things that I can do from the app. So I can put the watch down, don't need it anymore. And then from the app you can change. There's lots of stuff you can do, but there's a guide that will take you through all the bits and pieces for the watch. So it will tell you how to use it, how to connect, how to change stuff, and you can view the guide. And it will go, and there's lots and lots of, it tells you what all the buttons are, tells you how to use your GPS. It's all very simple. And then the activity is for the GPS routing and settings. So when you're out and about, you can set waypoints. It will take you back to original destination, so where you left. You can do all that sort of stuff. It's very clever. World time, you can set this to any time you want for the world time. Mine's on Madrid because I live in Spain. Then we've got the utility, so the alarms. You can set all this from your phone. You don't actually have to do this on the watch. And then you've got a whole range of settings that you can go on. So if I go onto my watch, I can change the display. There's a phone finder, so you can also set your watch to be connected to your phone. So if you lose your phone, you can press the button on your watch and the phone will bleep. Works really well. I've actually tried that. You can change the watch display settings, change the sound, change the time connection, the time adjustment. You can put in your tide and time, summer hours. There's lots and lots of, all the GPS settings are on there. So the app, I find the app works really well. No problems at all. Connects every single time. Never had a problem with connecting. So the app is definitely a bonus for the watch. They work great. And then when you're done with the app, all you do is just disconnect from the phone. Disconnect from the phone. You just press the mode button, and that disconnects you. I use the GPS setting a lot for the telescope. So if I'm setting up a new telescope, then I use the GPS. The accuracy of this GPS, I use it when I'm setting up the mounts on the telescope. So that's a real bonus. So there we are. What else do we need to know about this watch? So a few things. It's water resistant to 200 meters. If you're ever going 200 meters, so you could use it as a diving watch quite easily. It weighs 142 grams, so it's quite heavy. It's got GPS navigation, which is pretty cool. It works great. The battery life is solar powered. In a year, I've just never done anything really. If I'm not wearing it, I leave it sitting somewhere in daylight. But other than that, I don't do anything. And it's always on full charge. So if I go back, the battery's always on full. It's never been below full. I've never seen it go down a bar. But apparently, on the Casio, on their specs, it will last for 27 hours if it's in total darkness. So if it's in a drawer, pardon me. If you're using the GPS, so you're out in the daylight and you're using the GPS, they say on full GPS it will last for 33 hours. No reason to disbelieve that. I've never used it for that long, so I don't know. And if you're not using the GPS and you're not using a watch, the battery will actually last for 1.4 years if it's in power saving mode, which it switches to automatically. So like I said, I've never found anything, no reason to disbelieve any of that, because the battery's always full. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, it's always full. So just to give you some idea of the size, if we compare it to, so this is another one of my watches. This is a Breitling B1, which in itself is a pretty big watch. Just put that. That's a pretty big watch, but if you put that next to the Casio, it actually dwarfs the Breitling quite easily. So yeah, the Casio is a big watch, but I like it like that. I like the big watch. There we go. I think that's about all I can say really. I have seen I watched one YouTube video where they actually took the watch apart, every single screw, nut, bolt, washer, and the construction I thought was really impressive, and really impressive how easy it was to take apart, because you literally can take it every single little piece off. I'm not going to do that because I like the watch and I don't want to ruin it. The cost of these things, they're about, considering all the technology and everything that's in there, I think it's really good. It's about, I think they're anywhere between about £500 and £700 or euros, and not much difference between the two. I really like it. That's all I can say.